It's Anne at Yarn Folk. We have a knit along starting today that I haven't done a great job of promoting. So I wanted to take a moment to talk about the Bermy Basics series and then also take a quick look at the Granny Go Round jumper. The Bermy Basics series is a top-down pullover knit with circular yoke increases from designer Beth McDonald Stone. That's Beth right there. The pattern comes as a series of patterns, so there are options for your knitted gauge ranging from 12 stitches per 4 inches up to 28 stitches per 4 inches. What that means for you is that you can knit the pullover in almost any yarn that takes your fancy. After swatching, I've started mine in Tuku Wool DK, which is a DK. It's a woolen spun DK, so it can handle a slightly more open gauge. But in addition to that, I have added the creative Make It Tweed yarn. So I'm going to zoom in here. You can see that using this carry along adds in little tweedy bits. I experimented with a few different options for using that yarn, and I settled on carrying it every third round. So it has a slightly striped appearance, but I preferred that to the overall lightening of the color that was happening when I used it more frequently. The pattern gives you a number of options for variation. In my case, rather than the 2x2 rib suggested for the neckline, I opted for a garter rib. So you can see here that instead of just purl stitches, this is garter stitch right there. Other options include sleeve length, body length, how narrow or deep you knit the hem. You can have different options for increases at the yoke. I used a simple lifted increase, but you could also use an eyelet increase. You could do just about anything that appeals to you there. You could also add color work to the yoke. So those are some options that take this from being a very basic pattern, which I'm knitting it at a pretty simplified way, but you can take this as a template and add your own flair to it. Just to give you an idea of what eyelet increases would look like, these are the eyelet increases used in Tiff Nealon's Stripes of Joy sweater. We're also offering an option for crocheters for this sweater Makealong, and we have selected the Granny Go Round jumper. This is a jumper top-down based on the granny stitch. It's shown here in 3 colors, and it gives you yarn amounts for 3 colors, but you could also do it in a solid, just 1 color. You could do it in 1 variegated color. So you have a lot of options with this. And the sizing on this one goes from extra small up to 4XL. The size range on the Bermy Basic is also very extensive. Just as a jumping off point, you could use Barocco Vintage DK. This has been a great yarn since we brought it in. It is the same yarn as Barocco Vintage, which is worsted weight, and Vintage Chunky. We added it fairly recently, and it's a great soft option, wonderful for crochet. If you wanted to do a all wool option, Lannis Light would be a great choice there. And again, that one comes in a fairly extensive colorway. We also have, if you wanted to go a hand-dyed option, we have Madeline Tosh DK, and we have Malabrigo Arroyo. You could probably even do it in the sport weight, the Wool Cycle Sport, which we have in an amazing array of very bright colors. That could be really, really fun. So that is what we have going on with our Makealong. And I just wanted to take a moment to give you a little explainer on what's going on with that. We'll see how many of you want to hop in, but I started the my Bermy Basic. I'm doing the Bermy Basic 18, so 18 stitches over 4 inches, about 4.5 stitches per inch, and it's going really quickly, and it's really an enjoyable knit. So I hope you'll join us, and thanks for checking in.